isn't this a different setup from our usual? I'm in the car right now. I am on a ferry headed back from Vashon Island. Today is, I believe, July 17th. It also could be July 16th. I promise I'm not that out of touch. Today is a Friday. It is about happy hour, late afternoon, and I have half day Fridays at my work right now. So I worked the first half of the day, and then I was like, you know what? I've been meaning to go to Vashon Island. I thought I wanted to go tomorrow because the Strawberry Festival is happening tomorrow and the next day. But I'm glad I went today because, number one, I have a couple different workout classes, like pop-up style, that aren't usually hosted, but my gym is hosting this tomorrow. So I've been really wanting to go to those, so I wanted to clear up the calendar for that. But also, it was very funny being on Vashon. I honestly cannot remember the last time I was out on Vashon. It might have been when I was a little kid. It's so close. It's ridiculously close. It's like a 15-20 minute ferry ride away, and Vashon's tiny. Like, I do think you probably want a car going over there just to be able to get to everything. That being said, it's not very big. I think the furthest drive you need to make to the south end of the island is maybe a 20 to 30 minute drive, if even. I kind of want to hold on. I'm going to crack my car door, and hopefully that's not going to completely alter the sound. I'm just a little bit hot right now. But yeah, I came over because I just have been meaning to do this. I mean, I'm reading about the news right now in Canada and on the East Coast, and how crazy the weather is, and how there's all of the smoke right now. And it really has got me, thinking back to the time of year, which is about now and later in the past couple years, where it's been very smoky here in Seattle because of forest fires. And I was like, you know what? If the weather's good, I'm leaving. I'm going out on a little trip. I do need to be home this evening. I have a friend's going away party for someone that's going to be moving out of the state. But I was like, Vashon really isn't too far. I think about 3 hours there is just the minimum of what you would want. You probably want more like 4 to 5, maybe 6. If you're going for the day, but I had the time that I had and it made it work. But I did all of the like stereotypical things. I went to, I think it's called Snapdragon Bakery, and I got lunch. I got a quiche with a side salad. Salad was a little bitter. I feel like the sauce was it had a bite to it that I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of, but the potato quiche was really good. And it's funny. So then I walked around the small downtown. I would say the Vashon Pharmacy is kind of a sleeper of like a little gift shop. They have some other ones, but honestly, it's not very big. Vashon's downtown is really only like 4 blocks of like one road. They've got plenty of restaurants, but still, all that to be said, I could feel an air of stress in the air from all the business owners because they're all trying to get ready for this festival tomorrow. So I thought it was kind of funny that, I could just tell, like, everyone was out in front of their stores trying to get set up in a frantic way is how I would describe it. I don't know that that's usually what Vashon is like. I think it's very laid back for the most part, but I think the Strawberry Festival is a big deal to them, so maybe it brings out the stressful side for folks just because they care. But yeah, it was kind of funny. So I'm actually really glad I didn't come tomorrow or the next day, because I think it is going to be kind of crazy, and just like navigating the ferry would have been kind of crazy too. I was really lucky. I hit both ferries that I wanted to hit on the way there and on the way back, so I should have plenty of time to kind of chill before I got to go over to this graduation party. I'm also going to run by Krispy Kreme donuts down in Soto, because I was like, what can I bring to this party that people would like? And then I was like, donuts, that'd be great. And on top of that, I saw that they were you get like a second dozen donuts for like 89 cents because it's like Krispy Kreme's birthday or something weird like that. But so I got like 2 dozen donuts for, I want to say, like a little under $20. I think usually 1 dozen is like $17 or $18. I could be wrong. It's kind of expensive, but Krispy Kreme donuts will go like hotcakes. They'll be gone in a flash. So I have faith that what I will bring will be gone, but or will be eaten. But it's kind of nice. I got 2 dozen for the price of 1, basically. Um, but anywho, let me get back on track. So I came over here, I got lunch, I walked around the downtown. The farmer's market was good. I peeked in a couple other stores and, just did it to putz around. Didn't see anything I particularly needed. But then I headed over to the lighthouse, which I'm blanking on the actual park name. But if you look up Vashon Island Lighthouse, there's only one, I believe. Did the little walk around there, saw the lighthouse, also saw the troll. If you're familiar with the trolls in Seattle, there's like a number of them scattered throughout the greater Puget Sound. So I got to see that. And it was just very, nice. I will say I was like very acutely aware of the time because I didn't want to have to wait for an even later ferry. So I did kind of, I wasn't, totally in La La Land. I was keeping track of the time. Yeah, I'm really happy I did that. I just feel like I'm just happy to have like tried something different this afternoon. Like usually I would go to dance class or something like that if I had, the afternoon off, but which is great. But while the weather is the way that it is, I really want to take advantage of doing stuff like this. So I think I will probably have another trip to Vashon in my future. Maybe not anytime soon. I think maybe going off season for me would be really nice. I also think maybe doing like a night over there would be kind of cool. There certainly is not that much to do, so you would go with the intention, I think, of like have a big group, bring games, bring drinks, be heathens, but not too heatheny. But I think that could be fun. And or doing like an afternoon trip like in the fall is really what I'm thinking. But in terms of my like local trips, I still want to do Bremerton, Kingston, and then I have Bainbridge already kind of scheduled. I have some friends that I'm going to see in August that we're planning to do an evening dinner for. So that should be fun. But I'm going to go ahead and close my door. We have some folks that came up to the wall. But let me think if I have any other updates. I think that's it for now. I'm going to have you just kind of tag along with me for the rest of the weekend. I have this party I'm going to tonight. I have workout classes that I want to hit during the day tomorrow. My boyfriend's going to a game night tonight. I don't know what he's doing during the day tomorrow, but then in the evening we are going to grab dinner together downtown and go to see The Odyssey at a movie theater downtown. And I am very excited. I need to refresh myself on some of the Greek mythology, not all of it. I do think I probably want enough of a basic understanding to know what I'm like seeing and what is being referenced. And I think I'm going to need to debrief my boyfriend on that too. But excited for that tomorrow. The weather, again, should be beautiful all weekend. It's been pleasant. Yesterday was actually very stormy and thundery and rainy, and it has not been like that. It's been more like maybe like high 70s, low 80s. So it was kind of, us Seattleites, we like a little bit of rain. So it was a nice kind of refresher in between the hot days. But it's supposed to jump back up later this week. So I'm kind of just trying to enjoy the like medium warm weather while we have it. Then Sunday is the last and final World Cup game. We're going to be hosting a viewing party for that. And then I'm catching up with a friend in theory on Sunday evening, and it's just like bang, 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 go, go, go. But it's nice. After having been gone last weekend, and even though we weren't that far, it was a heavy party, heavy drinking weekend with it being the wedding. And you don't have to drink at a wedding, but I certainly enjoyed multiple glasses of white wine. So we were a little tired coming back from that. So this should be fun. This should be a lot like, I was gonna say less intense, but I don't know, just like a little bit more cash. So I will fill you in later. I'm not sure when, but yeah, I'll see you then. Hello. Okay. It is somehow still Friday. It is 11:48. Oh gosh, I'm barely hanging on by a thread here. It's 11:40 p.m. I'm in bed. I'm gonna go to bed soon here. I just got back from my friend's going away party. I have a friend who is moving fully across the country, and this is kind of like round one of their going away. They're doing a cross-country road trip, but then, oddly enough, this friend will be back in town in August for some personal reasons, and then officially gone again. So I know I will see this person again, but it is really, truly the beginning of the end. And yeah, it's just such a unique feeling. I want to interject real fast. I didn't film at all this evening, nor would I have wanted to. But I did take a very funny picture of a cat on the box of Krispy Kremes that I brought. The hostess cat, who was so friendly and nice, and loved sitting on cardboard boxes and paper bags. So they made themselves very comfortable, and that will be the photo that you get to see throughout this little update. But yeah, just like I feel like I'm having that feeling of like when you're at a social gathering and then you come home and you're like, what do I do now? It's that weird kind of like, I've been around people so much this evening and now I'm alone. What do I do? And a little bit of like that kind of, there's just like a little bit of a come down, you know? And it's a little bit more intense because it's like, oh, and it's all of this celebration was due to someone leaving whom I love. And it's just so real, the transitions in your like late 20s, early 30s. I know like your early 20s can be very transitional when you graduate school and you go off and everyone moves to different places, but there's a huge resurgence of that comes up, like, or at least in my experience, is coming up in like late 20s, early 30s, where, you know, people are starting to meet their partners and get married and have kids and like also do big moves across the country. And it's just like so many more transitions are happening. And like really, you know, kind of the more, even though like going to school and moving to your first like city where you're going to work your first adult job, those are all big and important transitions. It's just they're seemingly more pivotal is not quite the word that I want, but the decisions that you make as you get older feel more consequential, or at least to me they sometimes feel that way. And so just like, yeah, just like it's funny how comfortable you can get in your mid-20s, or at least I was, with, you know, like my community and my setup, and then, you know, all of a sudden you start meeting people and people get into serious relationships, and or other things happen that force them to move home or across the country or across the world or go back to school or you know, it's just I feel like I am really entering that season of life right now. And it's funny how this season can sometimes be filled with just absolutely so much going on all the time. And then other times it's like, wow, there's really not a lot going on right now. It's like I had a friend who was there this evening who was like, yeah, the days feel like years. But then when you look back, it's like, how are we already over halfway through July? Like the time as a whole just feels like it's zooming by. But I don't know, man. It's weird feeling knowing that the reality of your day-to-day is going to change when your friend is gone. And theirs is even going to be even more change. They're going to be in a new place. And I'm glad I'm catching them one more time in August. But or a couple more times, actually, in August. But yeah, man, it's just like, it's really, this person is quite close to me. And I've even lived with them at one point, at multiple points actually, and it just feels like a chapter closing with a good friend, you know, leaving not the inner circle emotionally, but the inner circle like physically, you know. So I guess it's just an excuse to visit. And yeah, you know, I've had friends who have moved across the country, and, you know, we maintain our friendships well and FaceTime and do all the stuff that you do to maintain a friendship. But it's still hard, you know. It's hard when they're not right in front of you, or can't be in a matter of, 30 minutes. So I'm rambling. I need to go to bed. I'm tired. But yeah, just wanted to fill you in. All right. I'll talk to you later.